This video has been sped up for time restraints, but you might find this interesting. Alright.
Hello, this is Uncle Jim, and this might be part 2 of the VZ16 Skorpion pistol, but I might delete that video. If you watch that video, stay tuned because we're doing totally different stuff today. But that video sucked. So this is made by Czechpoint Inc. in the Czech Republic, and it's very nicely made. This one is in 380, 20 round mags. It comes with 2. It has a 4.5 inch threaded barrel, and the threads are beautiful on the barrel. Perfect for your can suppressor. Beautiful threading, nice looking barrel. And so today we're going to sight it in. It shot 2 inches high at about 15 or 20 yards. And then we're going to test to see if it'll fire out a battery with a prime piece of brass here. We've shot all kinds of bullets through it and not a single malfunction. So that's good. The bullets we shot earlier were some factory defense loads, and then we have our cast bullets from casting ourselves with powder coat. And this is a round flat with a nice flat nose on it. Fed them beautifully. Hollow point cast bullet. Fed them beautifully. That's MP ball here. And then 6-shooter Texan mold with the slight flat. Okay. Everything perfectly. These loads are made so they plunk test in all our 380, so it's super simple. Just load one round for everything, or one overall length, until we want to play around with accuracy or whatever. So the reason to see if it'll fire out a battery is when I was shooting some hot loads and factory defense loads, every once in a while you get a bulged brass, but with these loads, nothing. On the stuff I've been loading for it, the brass comes out perfect. The rim, there's no dings in the side. They come out beautiful. There's no scratches on the rims. Everything is great, especially for a blowback. And so the reason it could be bulging is it's got a very forgiving feed ramp here. And so you have a ramp before it goes to the chamber right there. And then it continues on a little bit like an old Glock or something. And so if you reload your brass for this or find some at the range, always look at it when you get the pressures up. But in this case, so far, nothing. So we had a few bulgers once we got to the upper limits there. So I thought, well, maybe it fired out a battery because the bullet was seated too long, or and slightly fired out a battery. But then, upon looking at it, I don't think that's the case. The firing pin is very shallow, and this part of the bolt is protecting the hammer from hitting until that bolt is forward. Okay, so it'll stop there, because I could pull the trigger with the bolt just slightly back, and the hammer would hit the bolt. But I think it was hitting here. So we're going to test that theory today. It's a spring-loaded firing pin. And so we're going to test it with a prime piece of brass and maybe like an 1/8 inch out of battery and see if it'll fire. So that'll kill that one theory I had. I think it's a feed ramp, but we'll see. I talked about the finish a little bit. I don't know how long it'll hold up. This is where it's scraping inside when you put it together. Okay. So far the outside where it reciprocates isn't scratching the finish. I don't know what finish it is. It looks really nice as it comes out of the box. But there's 2 little scrapes right there. I don't think it's a big deal. Okay, the neat thing about the company is they have every part for this, and they're not expensive. We just looked up, and you can get every part for this. And the safety's like $15. The grip is $15. And so you can replace everything, and everything is easy to take apart. And so that's good. Some people might wonder what this is. This is a cycling rate mechanism. So on the inside, you'll see this one's hollow because it's not full auto, and it's not a machine pistol anymore. But in this hole here, you had like a springed piston thing, and with a little claw that would grab the bolt and slow it down depending on how you adjust it. So you could fully adjust your cycling rate, which is pretty cool, especially with different ammo or whatever. That was pretty ingenious. So as we talked before, the sights are 75 meters. You can flip it to 150. The way it came out of the box, we were shooting 2 inches high at 15 to 20 yards, shooting 6 o'clock on a little square like that. So that's not bad for the way they have this sighted in. And the front sight has lots of range. Okay, this sight unscrews up and down. You got lots of range. Previous video I mentioned you can use an AK front sight tool. You can even use little tweezers, whatever. However, if you back this out all the way, there's a lock screw for the front sight. If you back it out all the way, you can just do it with your fingers. Okay, right there at the range. If you got a small screwdriver. We talked about how ingenious for crude sights that are non-windage adjustable. They have this genius little front sight post that as you turn it, the front post will change your windage right or left, and then you got your elevation. That was ingenious. Okay, no tools needed. These little protector fins here are actually for the wire stock that was on it. It retained it. You just pop your stock and fold it out. Back in focus here. So the parts are available and cheap. That's always a good thing. The guide rods here and the springs, these come off real easy. You just pop them out. You can take your spring out, change the spring, clean them, whatever. They pop out, so they're totally easy to work on. Then you'd have to use a punch if you want to get to your extractor and your firing pin, I guess. Yeah, I haven't done that. So we're going to check to see if it fires out a battery and ruin my theory there. All right, what else? Okay, so today we're going to sight it in and also shoot it upside down, sideways, and see if we get any malfunctions. We talked about how the extracted brass buzzes in the air. It's funnier than hell. And the more powerful the round, the more it buzzes. And it's really loud but hard to capture on camera. But it's very unique to this. It's funny. And it'll drop by your feet within a couple feet of your radius. For us, it's like a little right and to the side, a little forward, a little back. And it'll drop right there. You can hear it hit because it's making a noise. So if you stand over a tarp, you can recover all your brass really easy. So we're going to test it that way. We'll test it at a battery, sight it in, and then we'll test some loads that aren't even made for this. You know, I have no idea. We just got it the other night. So so far, it's really fun. Now, these were carried by tanker crews and armored vehicle personnel, and they had it in a holster. It's really not that big. It might look like it, and it might look heavy and gangly, but it's not like a Mac 10 or something like that. It's actually easy to you know, put on your side, and they carried them in a holster in the tanks or whatever with a 10-round magazine, so they could take it out of their holster. And full auto, a 10-round will just blurp, it's gone. So I don't understand that, but this comes with 20-round mags, and we bump fired it, and it does have a nice cycle rate. But we'll test it sideways and upside down, and, you know, do all that fun stuff. I guess that is it. So we're still goofing around with it. With all these loads, it works perfect. I'm sure the overall length can go longer, but I'm just sticking with our other pistols. They all like this overall length, so we're just going from there. Load one, and you're done for everything. And it's very quiet, suppressed, and actually comfortable to shoot, even with that upright grip angle. For some reason, this is very comfortable. You can shoot it one-handed, very easy, two-handed. It's got a little ridge here for right-handers. It's pretty cool. So I really want to put a larger safety on here because it's totally out of the way. The safety is $15 from the company, and we could TIG up a bigger safety notch on here because it's totally, I don't see why it has to be so skinny, but this is an older design gun, and that would be fun down the road. And then I'll just gun coat it, Cerakote it, whatever. So that might be in the future. My son doesn't care. He can flip it real easy. To me, it's a little awkward, but it's his gun. As far as lubing it, it's pretty, it doesn't really require much at all. It's super easy to clean, and you can see a little wear right here. We've shot this all suppressed. Maybe right here. It's very simple. Some drops on your guide rod, boom, bang, pow. So, well, in case I delete the first video, the trigger is actually quite nice. It doesn't have like a clean break until you use the reset. It's kind of like a rolling trigger, but once you got it reset, short reset, and fairly crisp once you're there. So first shot, you got your take up, then it rolls in. But after that, super nice, super nice. All right, so another thing you don't want to do is get your thumbs anywhere near this reciprocating bolt, okay? These will tear you up. So either hold on to the mag, thumbs forward if you're using both hands like that, shoot it one-handed, shoot it two-handed, use the pistol brace, folder if you want. So you definitely want to stay away from this at all times. The magazines hold the bolt back, and you got this little button here, okay, that holds it back. And it's kind of neat because if you want to let the slide go, you just flick it like that, and boom, or the bolt go. So thought I'd mention that again in case I delete the last video. Okay, we're gonna try and sight this in resting on a block, using the ball first, just to sight in. Go ahead,
Pop one.
whatever's comfy. You see where it hit?
Yeah, that's right.
High right? Okay. So let's bring it over. Well, one more. Okay. Okay, 1.5 revolution on the front post and a hair bringing it over left. Did that hit the red? No.
I think I hit it, yeah.
Stop. Is that in the red?
Yeah, I think they're right next to each other.
Wow, that was easy. Okay. Okay, we were high and right, and 1.5 turns up on the sight, and then left the windage to the right, so it'd shoot left. And that's just about a 1-inch square, almost. All right, easy. Okay, that was pretty easy. Now we could just twist the sight a little bit and it would bring it more left because the post is a hair on the right side. Go ahead. Oh, I see a hole in the red. This is good. All right. Oh, that one went low. It's not the easiest
Still
gun.
in the same vicinity, though.
It's not the easiest gun to rest. There's nothing to rest on except for that.
Yeah, there's very little to rest on.
He's using a foam block. That's promising, though. Okay, let's stop there. Now, the funny thing about this is I forgot to clean the barrel. You know, we just wiped her down and lubed it. So I used a bore snake, put a little G96 on it, and since it's top eject,
You just run it through the top?
it's the easiest gun I've ever bore snaked. It just goes right down in there and out. It's so easy. It's even got a little ramp on the top of the bolt when it's open. All right, let's look at it. Really? Okay, once we brought it over, there's a 5-shot group right there on the square. And the sight is barely even tuned for windage. So that's good. Brought it all this way with hardly anything. See? Nice. Okay, so see how the windage works? It's just barely over. And it does a lot, so lots of adjustment. Ingenious. Okay, now we're going to try the hollow points at the same target and save the last one for 6-shooter Texans. Okay, try that. Oh, that's got more feist. It's a lighter bullet, same load.
You went up and to the right.
Okay, it's much lighter. Just make a group. I could catch that one. You just concentrate on shooting. I don't know where that went. I can't see that far. I got a little tarp in front of the camera. It's catching most.
I haven't had one hit me in the head yet.
No, they're cool by the time they hit you. They're spinning so hard, they're cold by the time they hit you. So if you get hit in the arm, it doesn't burn you at all.
Recoil is nothing on this thing, by the
No,
way. It is
no,
nothing.
and it's quiet. Okay, his first 3 shots were here, seeing where we got a sight in. Then we shot 5 in a group, and the hollow points is another group with 1 flyer high. That's not bad. Okay, now for the 6-shooter Texan mold. This is, what, 98 grains, something like that, 97 something. Okay. Bottom target. I hope you can hear the buzz. Where'd it hit? Square, yeah. I hope you can hear this. It's hilarious. I am warming up to this gun. The bore snake, the ejection, the buzz. Easy to clean.
Super simple.
And semi-restable. It's not the perfect gun to try and rest, but I can catch these. If I had a butterfly net, I could just hold it out and just fish for them.
You definitely could.
They're within a few feet, but we just have a tiny tarp where we thought it would fall. Hilarious. Are your eyes fuzzing out at all? I think that's it.
Yep.
All the brass looks perfect.
Lock back.
All right, let's take a look. Yeah, it always locks back on the last shot with those mags.
It's been super reliable so far.
Yeah, and these are reloads. I haven't loaded for it yet. Okay, with the SST mold right there, we still got to walk the sight over a hair. And he wandered this time a little bit. Okay, those targets were shot with mixed brass S&B primers, Winchester 231 powder. Now, we have a prime piece of brass in here. And in hindsight, we could just use a bullet and shoot it, but this is safer. So we have a skinny matchstick. It's just barely out of battery. And he's going to see if it fires.
Ready?
Yep.
It did.
Did it fire?
Yeah.
That's quiet with the suppressor. Okay, it did fire. I didn't even hear it. It sounded like it didn't even go off. Here's the weird thing. Now this is a skinny match, so it was just barely out of battery. I'm not sure that brass was fully forward because look at the primer, it backed out. That is weird for an unloaded round. I really don't want to use a live round. Okay, we'll continue on with that maybe another time, but that's interesting. All right, we're gonna do 3 sideways and 2 upside down.
Ready?
Okay, yep. Okay, upside down. Okay, it shoots either direction. Okay, that went pretty well. I didn't even weigh the bullets to sort them for target shooting. We were just sighting in, and they still shot pretty good. Mixed brass. I forgot to clean the barrel, so I grabbed a bore snake, put a little G96 on it, and ran it through, and this has to be the easiest semi-auto I ever ran a bore snake through. It just falls right in, and it snags on nothing. And I was laughing just bore snaking it. All right, the front sight is better than I thought because we hardly moved that as far as the windage goes, and man, that just took care of everything. So that's ingenious for something with fixed sights. That post idea was great. Let's see, this was Cranky's mold, the MP hollow point. It's about 95 grains. Everything was 95 to about 97, 98 grains. 6-shooter Texan, I'm sorry, he started wandering on that foam block at the end, so we got a little right left, but it's very promising on that bullet of yours, of your mold. So we kind of had fun, and there'll be more playing with it later. I hope you found this interesting. Until next time, thanks for watching.